get your beat.
Alright you guys, so before you actually start cutting, what you want to do is lay the hair in place. Right now I'm brushing the hair down with the grain. My client didn't want anything cut off the top, so with this cut we're going to focus on the fade and the lineup. So now that I have everything laid in place, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set in my bald line using my Babyliss Skeleton FX. I know I don't have the trimmer right now. I will switch to it later. These trimmers wasn't really hitting like that, and it really couldn't take off the bulk like I wanted, so I had to switch the trimmer. So with setting in this bald line, I'm trying to keep it as low as possible. Now every head shape isn't going to be the same as far as when you set in the bald line. Not all low fades are going to look the same. It depends on the head shape. So what you could do is visualize just basically doing a lineup all around the back of the head, just like I'm doing right here. Just taking off a little bit. Like I said, every head shape is different, so not every low fade is going to look the same on everybody. So now that I made the bald line, I'm going to clear it out using the same trimmers by going upward, clearing out the bulk. So the reason why I don't go dead on and just take the, trimmer and just, go straight down with it is because I don't want to irritate the skin. Going upward is way more comfortable for the client, and you don't want to accidentally, cut your client by just digging too hard. Now using my wall cordless seniors with the one guard with the lever open, I'm going up and basically debulking. I'm basically using this guideline right now as a way to get a visual on how high to go up. All right, I don't want to go that high, so I'm using a bigger guard. That way, it prevents me from going too high. Now with debulking, I will be going up about a full inch. I'm gonna go over the guideline multiple times to make sure it's at that one guard open length, and just brushing down as I go, making sure I keep it consistent all the way through, because you don't want to leave one side higher than the other. You want to double check your work, make sure that everything is even and at that length. So notice how when I do set in my guidelines, I automatically just make sure I go right back over the guidelines on the other way around, just to make sure that everything is at that length. You want to really go over that guideline multiple times. That way the hairs that you think won't catch will catch. You know what I mean? Don't rely on it just going up and down as well. Go side to side sometimes if you see that hair is growing inconsistently. Now taking off that one guard, and with the lever fully open, I'm going up half an inch. All right, half of what I set in with the one guard open. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna keep it consistent all the way around, going over the guidelines multiple times to make sure it's at that length. So just because I used the one guard open does not mean I do not go back in and use that one guard and make sure that guideline is set in at least a half inch. You want to make sure everything is even as possible. I'm combing the hair down, making sure I get those flyaways, and making sure everything is neat. So next, I'm gonna focus on blending down. I'm not gonna focus on that bulk at the top because I want everything to blend and be as low as possible. So right now, I got my zero guard with the lever fully closed, and with my corners, I'm flicking out that middle line. Now, not all the hairs go up and down like I said before. Sometimes you're gonna have to turn the blade and go side to side. All right, so make sure that you utilize your corners as much as possible. Know what your against the grain is, right? Because if the hair is growing sideways, you want to cut it against the grain sideways. If it goes up and down, you want to cut it up and down, right? So make sure you just know which way the hair is growing, and be patient with this flick out motion. Don't try to rush the cut. A little bit at a time. That's why I use my corners most of the process. I don't use the full blade. So in many cases, the zero guard close doesn't take out the middle line like you want it. So all I'm gonna do is, with the lever open, is I'm gonna detail that area with my corners and just debulk those dark spots that I see. So next, we're gonna work on taking out that bottom line, but first, we're just gonna set our lever halfway and soften that bottom line up. Now, as a veteran, you could just go right ahead and close the lever, flick out that bottom line, start below the line, flick to the line. But as a new beginner, this is the safest way to kind of, work little by little, I should say. So I got my lever halfway, and I'm just kind of softening up that bottom line, not going too high, just attacking that line itself to soften it up to come behind it with the next step. So now that the line is softened, you can easily take it out with the lever closed. All right, so right now I'm doing the same exact thing using my corners, starting below the line, flicking to the line, and just clearing out that bottom line. So now that I have the bottom faded like I want it, I'm gonna work on the top. So I'm just gonna comb down the bulk at the top so I could come behind it and clear it out. Now with the 2 guard, with the lever fully closed, I'm gonna go up and scoop out. All right, I'm just gonna clear out the bulk, not really setting in a guideline. I'm just scooping out. That way I don't take off too much bulk at the top, because I still wanted some of that hair at the top. That way he could kind of re-dread it and it could still grow longer. So what he's trying to do is grow out his top, get more of those hairs on the side to, you know, twist up. Now I'm going back down with my 1 guard with the lever fully open and just kind of cleaning up that area between the 1 and the 2. So detailing is key, all right? What you want to do is you want to look away from the blend. That's what I like to do. I like to readjust my eyes, come back to it. Or I find it easier for most people, this kind of works for the masses, is to utilize your mirror. If you have a mirror in back of you, kind of look towards the mirror sometimes, because the mirror will show you different perspectives on the blend, all right? It'll show you different things that you missed. So just kind of use your mirrors, point to those areas that you missed, and kind of, corner those areas with your clipper. So detailing is important, man. It separates you from just being an average barber to a good barber. So right where I had the 2-guard, I see that area not really flowing as well as I thought. So right now I'm just gonna clean up that area by freehanding, making sure everything flows and everything looks nice when he walks out. So right now I'm just using this styling foam, and I'm just gonna basically put it all around the blend, brush it down. This basically locks the blend in place, all right? It lays the hair more down than what it is, especially if you have that kind of unruly texture. This will lay it down a lot better, so you could do more detail work, and it looks a lot neater when you're done. Next, I'm just gonna blow dry it, making sure everything is dry. You don't want to, start cutting and it's wet still. So make sure everything is dry. This will lock it down as well, and make sure everything stays in place. So lastly, I'm gonna do more detail work now that I have everything laid down the way I want it. I see a lot of areas that I need to perfect, so I'm just gonna go in using corner work, using my mirror, and just perfect the blend as much as I can. So next, I'm gonna work on the front line. I'm gonna put in my duck clips to basically pin the hair up. You don't want the hair hanging over. You want to get everything out of the way and basically brush the hair forward, because you want everything to be neat. You don't want to work on a sloppy canvas. You want everything to be laid. That way your cut could come out looking good. So I always like to bring the front down to a 1. So I got my 1 guard on with the lever closed, and I'm going with the grain, just taking off a little bit. All right, I'm not digging in. I just taking off a little bit in the front, to where when you go to line it up, you won't have this hair overhanging. You won't have to keep brushing it down. Everything will be automatically laid, and the lineup will come out a lot more crispy. listen, let me tell you why they call me 360. When they sit in my chair, I spin them in a full 360, and they come out looking like,
damn, son, we make it look easy.
YouTube, this is the cut. And if you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, HustleDreamProduction, that's my brother, he does all my beats. His YouTube channel will be linked in the description below. Make sure you guys go give him a follow. Also, if you want to know where you can find any tools that you've seen in this video, links will be in the description below. Otherwise, you guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. My TikTok is official360Jeezy and my Instagram is 360Jeezy. But it's your boy 360Jeezy, and I'm out of here.